Hey everybody, Marshall123X here. Welcome to my weekly Samurai Jack podcast, where we will be talking about the events that took place in episode 8, and I'd like to invite you guys to say, hooray, Gecko's back. You know, it's his epic return. Because last week,
Hello.
he was sick last week, poor little fella. He needed some chicken soup and TLC.
Or THC.
There you go. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Do you want to start us off, or?
Well, let's see. First of all, I'd like to say I fucking called it on episode 1.
Oh yeah, but we'll come to that.
We'll come to that. But okay,
yeah.
Episode starts with this big cereal blocks in space.
Yeah. 2001: A
They
Space
crashes.
Odyssey. 2001: A Space
Yeah, it's just giant square spaceship
Yeah.
crashes into the desert,
And
then so
God knows how long it's
they're
been
in
there.
this, and so they're in Agrabah, and Ashi and Jack are in this marketplace.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. A big
Zoidberg's here.
Yeah, it was like Zoidberg. Yeah, that was great. But he's a walrus.
He's a walrus. He's
Walrus
selling
man.
sushi stuff, and apparently teeth. I don't know why.
Whatever. He only had a half of one, so he had like 1.5.
Oh yeah, it's good for you.
Yes, please. And,
So Jack's
yeah,
Jack's trying out this like sushi and stuff.
Oh, apparently he's eaten it before.
Alien sushi. Yeah. Apparently he's never noticed that turns him into a fish temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily turns your turns your head into a fish. And I think he was a clownfish or something like that. He was
Something, I don't know.
I forgot what they're called, but it was pretty funny. I was like, man, I hope that's temporary.
Yeah.
Then
Didn't seem so worried about it, but
yeah, well, I don't think he knew. And
Yeah.
Ashley was like, oh, fuck that, I'm not eating that shit.
so there's this giant camel the size of a mountain.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Yeah,
That is transportation.
yeah, similar to like the Silt Striders from like Morrowind. That's the parallel I drew to it.
Yeah.
And
So they go in here to like
to
I
board.
guess, travel.
Yeah, it's basically public transportation. It's a big old desert bus,
Yeah.
and they
So
pile on.
they're in there, and a bunch of Team Rocket Cats
Yeah.
are.
Green Tiger Men.
Yeah, they're all green tigers, but they're wearing these black suits with red letters on them.
Yeah,
like single letters.
yeah, exactly.
And the first time I saw that, I saw like a R, and I was like,
Oh,
"Are they like
Rocket.
Team Rocket or something?"
Must be.
No,
And
but it's like,
my first thoughts were like, DeviantArt's gonna have a field day with this scene. I mean, jeez.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like it gets crowded in there because there's a bunch of green cat people,
Yeah.
and
They're
so like
literally
it
shoulder to
pushes
shoulder.
Ashley and Jack up against each other, and then Ashley's like,
Oh,
"I
yeah.
feel something poking me."
Yeah. I feel something poking me, and the camera pans down. I had one of those like, wait a minute moments again, you know.
I was like, "Oh, you got a boner."
I was like he's like
It
stabbing
was
her
just
with
his
little
sword
Jack.
hilt.
His little Jack coming out to say hi. That's what I was thinking, but nope, it was the hilt
It
of
was
his
just a sword hilt.
He's like, oh, sorry.
I was like, nice sex joke again.
Yeah, I love how they're throwing
Nice
those in there.
boner joke.
And was like, my mind wasn't even going there either. Like they were like pressed together awkwardly, and my mind wasn't even going there. The show took my mind there on purpose.
When he said something's poking me.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, what? And then when
Yeah.
the pan down, when the camera pans
Oh
down,
yeah,
I
pan
panic.
down. I was like, whoa, what
Yeah.
are we gonna see?
It's like I always panic when I see that
Always,
pan
sorry.
down. I'm like, oh, wait,
So they're-
TV14. You know?
Yeah. So it's getting into this like anime like oh they're shy around each other.
Yeah,
They're trying to grab
yeah.
the pole to hang on to.
Yeah.
They keep touching each other's hand, and Jack's being a little shy boy. He's a little cherry boy.
Oh, yeah, it's like he's a little cherry boy. You know he's a virgin. I mean, he has to be. He never had an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, see, 50 years of celibacy. I can see why he went insane.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's why he went insane right there. He he lost more than he lost his sword, but he wanted to lose something else.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. But I was like the whole time. I said, man, just kiss her, dude. Get it over with, man. You feel better afterwards, you know.
I was like, for a guy who's 50, he sure still
50.
acts
He's
like
like
a,
he's
like
like
a teenager.
he's like 80, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, a guy who's lived for over 50 years.
Well, I mean, you have to think
He's
of it.
still acting like a teenage.
Well, you gotta
boy.
think
Doesn't know.
that he was probably mostly raised around men.
Well, then again, he hasn't had much experience with women.
Exactly. I was like, he's mostly
Last one was Aku.
Yeah, Aku, and that wasn't even right. But
Yeah.
he was mostly raised around men, all of his senseis and all of his trainers and stuff like that, And probably majority of his life was focusing on getting stronger and becoming this perfect warrior to defeat Aku. So he probably didn't have much
time for
chance.
romance.
Nope, ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I'll get all the hoes after I beat Aku.
So apparently, all these tigers in the
Yeah, that was the
this
stupidest
area
thing.
all have letters. They all because they all have like a big letter on their
Yeah,
chest. Jack was noticing they're spelling out stuff like die or death.
Yeah, death,
And
die,
then,
samurai.
it pans out to a big. Yeah, it turns into a big shot of like I'm pretty sure you'll put it right here.
Yeah.
It says die, samurai Jack.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, I don't think we're alone. I was like, you don't say.
Well, no, it's like, well, I love how he's like, I don't think we're alone. It's like, when did when did you ever think you were alone, Jack? You even mentioned how crowded it was a second ago.
Yeah.
That was a really dumb line.
And
I'm sorry.
When, all the cat people. That's when Team Cat Rocket.
Team Cat Rocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all like, Meowth, that's right, Meowth, that's right, Meowth, that's right.
It's Meowth.
Exactly.
Green Meowth.
It's like if Meowth.
Yeah, they're all fighting. So, Jack and Ashley are fighting them because they all attack. And they have these like little moments where like they touch each other and get a little
get all
embarrassed.
bashful.
Like, oops, I touched her, or I touched him.
Right.
Like they punch this cat in the face and it shows a slow motion of both their hands kind of like bumping each other.
Yeah, and they're like, oh,
oh sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah,
I didn't see you there.
Yeah. Or like when Ashley uses his shoulders as leverage to
and then he grabs her
by her by her waist.
And he was feeling that waist. You can see his thumb kind of like moving down. Like I like this.
Something feels.
Also, I notice every time Ashley's in a profile shot, she has like they draw her face with kind of like a snout.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's because she's.
I mean, it's just an art style of like
her
nose or whatever.
Right.
It just looks like a snout.
A little snoot.
Yeah,
little
like
snoot.
Little bunny.
A little snoot for booping.
Yeah.
Little boop snoot.
So they run out. They jump out of the window.
Oh yeah, they're basically you want to get out of here? Like let's leave. So they
jump out, grab onto the camel's leash that the rider was holding.
Yeah, the reins.
And
and then they gently swing down to the ground.
Yeah.
But if you notice, two or three of the tiger men fall off, but they're not on the ground when the thing walks away. So I'm like, well,
probably just sunk into the sand.
Continuity. Yeah, it's just they fell into quicksand. They're dead now. It's just like they fell into oblivion.
So Ashley and Jack are in the desert. They gotta travel on foot.
A few more awesome scenes of the backdrop too. Again, I love the art style, and I'm gonna keep saying that in every single goddamn podcast, and you can't stop me.
It's actually inspiring me to try and do backgrounds like that.
Yeah, and
it seems simple, but it's detailed enough to where it actually looks really pretty.
Exactly, yeah, and the lack of outlines is what really, I think, sells it. It's like there's such contrasting colors.
It's just like for shadows, it's like a single color tone, or like maybe two or three color tones.
Right. And there's so many conflicting, contrasting colors that it's fucking it catches the eye. And it looks really smooth. It looks like it shouldn't blend together, but it does very well. Yeah.
So they make it to this like oasis area, and Jack makes like a little straw hat out of the leaves.
Yeah, and Ashley's impressed, and then surprise, he made her one too.
Yeah.
And I thought they kind of
like thumbs up.
Yeah, you look good. You look good. Well, good. I made you one too. And he like puts it on her little head and everything. It's a really cute moment. It's just basically this is like the dating episode where they're on a date for the first like half of it.
Pretty much,
yeah. And I was like, oh well, the straw hat goes.
It's really obvious that the whole episode is about them falling in love.
Them falling in love, or like the tension, like the
sexual tension.
Yeah, the attraction that's been.
I might add. I want you to post like this thing I saw on. I think it was on Twitter of like the cat people. Mm-hmm. You know how like the word said "Die Samurai Jack." Mm-hmm. There was one where someone changed the letters to say "She wants the dick." I was like, I love it.
Oh, it'd be great if it was like, "Do it, Jack." Saying she wants the dick.
It said she wants the dick. Because all of Twitter and Tumblr were just making jokes.
Oh, it's great.
It was really good.
Oh yeah, it's
So
great.
yeah, they're walking through the desert. It's starting to become like a horrible sandstorm.
Yeah. I
Like,
made the comment. I'm like,
see.
don't you think they should like camp out of that oasis overnight at least? You know, build a small fire and maybe like rest because the desert weather is completely unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? And that's a realistic idea. You know, it gets really cold at night and it gets really hot during the day, and storms can come and go in a moment. And sure enough, the next scene they're caught us.
Jack's been in the desert plenty of times.
Yeah, he ought to know, motherfucker. You know, that bastard could have got them killed. But so they get caught in a sandstorm. They come across the wreckage of the giant square spaceship, and of course it's got a hole in the side, so that means they can take refuge inside. And then from then on, we go all Ridley Scott's Alien on us. You know, we kind of it's just a big sprawling spaceship that they explore, and they come across a leech that. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, they come across prison cells, confined areas. It's literally just like a cot, a sink, and a toilet. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing's on its side too, so it's like they're kind of walking on the walls.
I was wondering why they were looking up and seeing the. Stuff.
Because it's on its side, yeah. So it's kind of a trippy. It kind of like makes you double take when you like, because like the perception shouldn't work, but it does because the whole ship's on its side. And then Ashley gets bitten by this blue leech creature, and
grabbed onto her leg.
Yeah, and Jack gets it off her, and then he discovers that it's actually venomous. And the venom,
it's spreading this green venom to her leg.
Exactly. So Jack sucks that out. And side note, I heard that doesn't work. I heard that is actually. I heard that is a good way to. That's a good waste of time, and it's a good way to kill your friend faster if you try to suck the poison out.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Where did you hear this? Because I keep hearing that's what you're supposed to do.
It was on a documentary about snakes.
So how do you get it out?
You take them to the fucking hospital. You take them to the hospital. Supposedly,
I was kind of wondering how sucking out the venom would work, because I was like, once it goes through the
once it's in the bloodstream, it's in the bloodstream. You know, it's.
But I mean, I was like, if you're sucking it out, that means you're reversing the blood flow, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
It's not possible, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just a waste of time.
Unless you could suck like a fucking Hoover vacuum harder.
Yeah,
you know.
Then you could.
Even then, I don't think the blood would reverse back to the wound.
No, it won't. Blood that flows out will. I don't know how to explain it, but they explained it in the documentary. But yeah, it's just a waste of time, and you'll end up, doing more harm than good, because you'll be sucking out more blood that could be used to dilute the venom through the bloodstream. So, But anyway,
those who are survival experts, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, but in Samurai Jack's world, it actually does work. So hooray, Kaloo.
I've seen it depicted that way all the time.
Yeah.
Why would they lie to us?
Well, because that's logically that should work, So
I got to say something about Jack's running animation in this new season. It's really funny.
Is it?
He just has this like long forward stride when he runs.
Oh yeah, he's like a football player.
Yeah, he runs like a football player.
Boop, 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 boop.
Big long like swing.
Strides,
like
leaps, like leap strides, like like a Terminator.
Yeah, because he used to run kind of like a ninja,
Right. But they suck the venom out, and then they're like, okay, well, we should get out of here. And they hear, like, a monster in the distance screeching. Yeah. So they try to return to where they got into the ship at, but I don't know if, like, the ship repaired itself or if it changed its physiology around or what, but they can't find their way out. So they're just... The rest of the episode...
The ship is almost the size of a city, because they find their way into certain parts, and they're just like, there's all these bridges and scaffolding?
Yeah, scaffolding. Really, really big. Like, it's huge. I would say like the size of a stadium, maybe. Probably a little bit bigger.
I would say.
Yeah, because, a really large stadium.
It's pretty big, it might be.
Right.
But yeah, so they're running through this whole thing, and
they come across
this big sphere that looks like.
Yeah, the
probably
containment
where they held that monster.
Yeah, it looks pretty appropriate to a chamber that's been broken out of, and the monster reveals itself to just be a bunch of leeches. That
Basically a Resident Evil monster.
I made that connection later. I was like, what does this remind me of? And I said that. Here's the thing.
Resident Evil 0.
And I'm sure people in the comments have already corrected me on my reaction video. It was Stanley Kubrick who directed 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I remember that's the connection I made to the big square spaceship.
Because, that's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, why is it like a big square monolith in the desert?
Yeah,
Kinda like Space Odyssey.
Yeah, it's like 2001: Space Odyssey. Really decent movie, kind of slow though, but still, Stanley Kubrick was a genius. But anyway, that's a whole other subject.
This monster comes out.
Back to the slug monster.
It's like a
hive mind.
Is it a slug or a leech?
I would say it's like a leech because it latches on, it sucks the blood out, and
I'd say that's a leech, right?
Yeah, and it's like a hive mind.
The way it works is, it's a hive mind leech monster where it creates like a big body of leeches formed together.
Yeah, and that's about it. You know, it attacks them, and
Ashley jumps down, grabs a bunch of glass. And uses it as like shurikens.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, your hand would be cut to ribbons, sweetheart," but it looks cool. Excuse me.
Well, unless she knows how to handle them.
Well, I know. I was just nitpicking.
Yeah.
But Jack fights off the main beast while a smaller beast that broke off from the bigger beast chases Ashley around, and then they decide that it's probably better just to get the hell out of there. So they use a steed. They cut up.
Jack goes. Here's a scene I'm watching with Jack like just using his sword, what do you call it, the sheath?
Yeah,
and his sword is a weapon, so he's just like double. He's using like double.
Yeah, he's dual wielding it. Yeah,
he's dual wielding.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, he was using the scabbard and the sword at the same time, which was pretty cool.
So then they escape by Jack just slicing into the ground and releasing like a
steam vent or something.
Steam vent. Yeah, I was like, that's a lucky guess.
Oh yeah, here goes the most plot convenient fucking. In terms of writing, this is really weak. So they come across the door, and the door scans them, and apparently the door's logic is that, oh, these aren't prisoners, let them into the armory. That's what it is, an armory, and it's like, oh, good, they're not prisoners, so let them in. You know,
let
like,
unauthorized
personnel into the armory. It's like, wow.
I guess they couldn't think of a...
No wonder they fucking crash landed, dude. Are you kidding me?
It's like anybody can go in and just go into the armory.
It's like, well, it's like...
I mean, I guess in terms of, like, pacing, they wouldn't have time to be like, oh, we need a ID card or something like that. We need to,
I know, but it was just...
find a dead body or something with an ID card.
It was so, like...
I don't know, easier way would just be that the door was just broken open.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. How the scanner was broken, or like it scanned them, and then like it failed. So like Ashley punches it and it fucking opens up.
Yeah.
I just like it was just so lazy. And then conveniently again, here comes some more exposition. They walk in and conveniently there's a hologram playing, talking about the escaped convict, which was the slug monster, or leech monster.
And the device tells you how to use. It's a device specifically for the slug monster.
It's a metal pizza.
And tells you how to defeat it.
Yeah.
And so Jack was listening to it, and as it was talking, Ashley accidentally blew like a hole, like a beam hole into the wall, distracting Jack. So she's like, "Oops, sorry."
Yeah.
And then he turns back, and then apparently he missed the part of how to activate it, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And then it says, device concluded, and then he's like, wait,
so hold on,
he doesn't know how to use this disc.
Right. So then Ashley goes all Spartan and gets like this double-edged like spear.
She has like a riot shield and a double-edged
spear. I believe they're like called like.
It doesn't look like a spear. It just looks like
double-edged.
Was a double-sided blade or something like that.
Yeah, whatever. It's double-edged sword or whatever.
Oh, there's batarangs in the background. I just
I noticed that too. There's like batarangs on the wall. So they go and they try to find the monster, and this is obviously the climax. And they encounter the monster, and Jack cannot figure out how to activate the metal pizza. And
what's funny, there's this scene where he like he kind of turns away from it and like pushes the button like he's not
what buttons though? I didn't
expecting
see any
to
buttons on it. And like they are pressing buttons. I was like,
it was funny. Someone on Twitter made this comparison of the intro to Dexter's Laboratory when he presses a button, and it looked exactly like how Jack did it.
oh yeah,
He looks away and presses the button, and then looks at it again to press it. It was the exact same. Like I was wondering if that was a reference to.
If it is, it was a pretty
Dexter's
obscure
Laboratory.
one because I didn't see it, so I didn't
Let me
make
see if
that
I can find
correlation.
it.
Well,
Whatever,
huh?
Pause real quick.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
I'll go ahead and pause
I
the
go to my
episode.
mic. Let's see. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Let me link it to you so you could probably put it up on the page,
Alright.
on the video.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. He like squints and kind of like flinches. Yeah.
But it looks like the exact same.
Right.
pose.
Let me see here. Hang on, I'm bringing it up. Yeah, exactly. That is funny.
And weren't these cartoons made by the same people or whatever?
They're made by this. Well, they were Cartoon Network originals, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so they probably had a shared hand in some way, shape, or form. But so they encounter the monster, and Jack cannot get the pizza to work. He tells Ashley they just know.
Show you what Stan did.
Oh my God! Who the? No. What? Get that shit out of there.
I was like, nice one, Shad.
Oh, get out of here.
Shout out to Shadman.
No, look at the one below it.
Let me see real quick.
Scroll down.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? Get out of here, dude.
Everyone was having fun.
Oh, extra thick. Oh my God, get out of here. That's enough internet for today, dude. Give me a break.
You know that was funny.
Oh yeah, it's great. But...
while they're waiting for the slug monster to show up, Jack's like panicking, trying to get the thing to work.
Yeah, and then they counter him. And...
He just looks so worried, like I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to know that I can't figure it out.
Right,
I want to impress the girl.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Like he wanted to impress her, and I'm like, why all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Jeez, like I felt it was like there was a few tropes. I loved the episode. There was a few tropes that I didn't think belonged, quite much in this in Samurai Jack, because let's admit they're just tropes. They're like recycled tropes from like other similar situations. But it didn't like hurt the episode. It just made it a little more corny, a little more funny, a little more fun, a little more funny.
Yeah. So he admits to that he doesn't know.
Yeah, in the middle of the fight, he admits that he doesn't.
So he gives it to Ashley to try and figure it out.
So he's fighting off the monster.
Holds off the slug, the leech monster.
The leech monster, yeah, and Ashley's trying her best, but
so the leeches try to take while Jack's fighting the big leech monster. It seems like he let out a bunch of other leeches to go around to try and flank Ashley.
Yeah. And
here's where the fan service just happens.
Oh my God, yeah,
Leeches like jump onto her.
And destroy her outfit.
Put this shot in.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in there. Don't worry.
The leeches jump onto her leave outfit and just start eating it away, and she slices them off and just ends up cutting off a lot of her outfit. So
she emerges from behind her shield, completely fucking naked as a jaybird, and she's like, I can't figure it out. He's like, Ashley, you're naked. I was like,
she's like,
so it's like, what the.
That tells you that she never cared.
Right, she never
particularly anyway.
Well, I think it was more like the situation was like...
No, but the fact that, she was always fighting naked.
Well, right. What I'm saying is, I think in that situation, I don't think it matters that she was naked. I think the fact they're being attacked by a giant...
For Jack it does.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. For Jack it does. What I'm saying is, that's probably the first naked woman he's seen ever.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Life. So it probably freaked him out a little bit.
Well, that's a good first naked lady.
There you go. Yeah, you got the right one. If you got to see one, that's the one.
I gotta admire how their clever way of censoring her without
the swords
putting censor board. Yeah, like the shield, the angles of how she attacks, and little things from like her weaponry just cover her naughty bits.
Yeah, her naughty bitch. Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Jack just like throws his gi on her.
Yeah, she's like, and your
And
rope.
apparently it's like way too big on her.
Oh yeah, it's huge, and she could swim in the damn thing. It's more like a bathrobe for her. But
she even calls it a robe, and he's like, "Well, it's a gi, but yes.
It's like a gi, but yes." Oh, that's funny.
Because it'll protect you from the leeches.
Because it'll protect you from the leeches.
It'll cover your body.
Right. Oh,
so
man.
the leeches start forming into like
multiple monsters,
bodies.
yeah. And then they just start like Ashley starts fighting them off, and Jack just goes into like spamming mode and is just like trying to win a round of Mortal Kombat, and he eventually, I guess, hits a button and it activates.
Well, here's the thing. When they get surrounded, Jack slowly grabs the device with his foot. Like,
yeah. I thought he was gonna stomp on it.
So he tells Ashley to hold him back as long as possible while he tries to figure it out. It's their last hope, and he's trying to figure out the button. And Ashley's just going to town on these leeches, like she's fucking. And then it just fucking a tidal wave of leeches comes, and she blocks it with her shield. And this is where my perverted mind is going, but I think the animators are going for like a bit of a sex scene here, like an allegory for sex.
Yeah, I kind of
because the leeches are just like plowing into her shield, right? And she's like, Jack, I can't hold it any longer.
Yeah.
And then, like, the leeches overwhelm them, and then their heads pop out of it, and they just scream, right?
Yeah, they're just screaming for each other. Yes.
And then they're looking at each other, screaming each other's name.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the device activates, and all the leeches start popping.
Once they scream the name, then they both just like close their eyes and just scream into the air. Like, oh, I'm coming!
Yeah, exactly.
And then the device activates and it shoots an electric surge to destroy all the leeches. Apparently makes the leeches pop.
Yeah, it pops.
And I was like, this is where the allegory for the cum shot is.
Right, this is the money
because they're all like laying there with all this green goo just splooshing all over.
Yeah, just, and it's just and they're just covered
of like, because it's a close up of their face and it's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like they're covered in goo that turns gray, and I'm like, okay.
I thought that was I kind of made that correlation too, but I didn't think, I thought it was a little too vague, but I'm glad you like reciprocated that too.
Well, I had to watch it again, and I was like, wait a minate.
There's something here. This might
be my perverted mind talking here, but
right.
And then so like they're all like, it's all like smoke, all like from the goo, I guess, giving off smoke, and they're all like they're all like
panting,
breath.
Like heavily.
They're panting out of breath. I was like, oh, is that like the climax?
Yeah, that's what I was
They're both
thinking.
Looking at each other.
And they're covered in juices, And
it's gray. It wasn't green before, it's gray now. So I'm like, oh, it's getting dangerously close to white.
Yeah. Well, the way I saw it was like that's like ash from like the burnt remains of the
Oh yeah, it's all whatever. And
but,
then so they look at each other, and then just a sudden cut to them just making
out like rabbits, dude. And it was really funny. It was like,
oh, what's that song that was playing when it happened?
Oh, I don't know. That's an older song. Everybody loves somebody. Everybody loves somebody. Yeah.
I was like, what a way to end it right there.
Right. And then that's it. It like cuts away, and then it cuts back to them making out still. So it like cuts away. It's like and it's back, and it's like. Oh man!
I was like, well, finally, Jack finally got the puss.
Well, he got a good smooch.
You can't tell me they weren't doing it afterwards.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe that's where.
Who else is there in that ship? They're perfectly alone now.
That's where the next episode might take off. It might be like they might be in like the sweaty throes of a passionate night. We don't know.
Yeah. And that's the end of the episode.
Right there. That's where it cut off. And I think that this episode. Was probably like the first and only like official filler episode that we'll see in the series.
I think everybody liked that.
Except
for the Tumblr rights.
Oh no, don't say
because this is a heterosexual relationship.
No, don't say that. You'll incur the wrath of Tumblr.
You should have put this in that part where I talked about.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in. That's funny. But yeah, there wasn't much else to the episode.
So that was it. It was basically a love episode.
Yep. And I think we actually have a winner for last week's
oh yeah,
podcast. Yeah, because I actually pulled down a few numbers all by myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, who needs your ass? No, I'm just kidding.
You got some fans.
Oh wait, a video played by accident. All right, I look so lonely on that video. Just there by myself with the smoke behind me. Okay, let's see here. I want to say.
Oh, are you gonna choose the best one?
Yeah, well, there's only 3. One.
Choose the best one.
I am, and we're gonna go ahead and give it to the Patriot Way. The Patriot Way says that I really hope that Gindi was trolling when he said that the ending was going to be sad. Jack deserves to be happy. He's been through too much to get the short end of the stick again. I agree. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I did hear a rumor that the ending of the series is actually going to be a bit of a sad, and on a sadder note, on a more somber note.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, me and Gaijin, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Not spoiler, more of a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Gaijin, we already knew. Me and him said that we could tell that it was Ashi and Jack were going to be together on the first episode, just from
right
how Ashi was portrayed to be the one character that was curious about the outside world, and I was like, okay, I see exactly where that's going.
Ashi's
He's gonna be the one that rebels, joins Jack,
and then dies.
possibly falls in love with him, which is pretty obvious. That's what it was gonna be, and it happened. And me and him predicted that Aku is gonna kill her at the end.
Yep. I think Aku's gonna kill her, and that's gonna send Jack into Super Saiyan rage mode, and
yeah,
that's where we'll get our climactic, clash. He'll have a reason. He'll have a reason to flip. Well, more of a reason than to flip out. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree.
Sacrifice herself to get in the way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She'll probably sacrifice herself.
She's gonna take the bullet or something.
Or take a maybe Aku will catch.
Here's my prediction. Aku's gonna stab him or something with his tentacle
horns,
arm or something.
Yeah.
Right? And Ashley's gonna jump in the way and take it.
Yeah. He's gonna catch Jack off guard, and she's gonna take the hit for him. Yep. I agree.
Calling it now, just so we can say that.
You heard it here first, folks. Heard it here first. But thank you very much, Patriot. What?
I heard knocking.
That was me. You heard it here first.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was knocking on your door.
Hello.
You're shut up!
Get the fuck out of here! I'm recording. Are you fucking kidding me? But yes, thank you very much, the Patriot Way, for commenting once again. And I'd like to invite everyone else to get down to the comment section of this here video and tell us your thoughts, theories, and ideas about both the episode and the podcast as well. We want to hear them, and we will pick out our favorite, and you might just be featured in the next podcast. Other than that, I don't think there's much else to say. Don't forget to check out Gecko's various social network and whatnot. Gaijin Gamers Play. I believe you guys are doing a playthrough of Bindi and the Ink Machine this week, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alochi was being a squeak toy today.
Hooray! And
very funny.
I gotta say, her being afraid is hilarious, and I wish you guys would play more horror games.
I do, but she's very easily scared. So
that's the point.
Very rarely do we get to play. But I think she's mustering up the courage to do more of it, since she sees a very positive response from people who like seeing her get scared.
Yeah, a little scared-boo. It's funny because she's a ghost. She's supposed to be spooky. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next video. Have a nice night. Stupid fucks.